All right, hello and welcome everyone. We are back with another cast from the Alchemy League. For this set, we have Superhero 555, aka Superhero Power, against the Otter One. These guys are in Argentum Division, so they are not the bottom division, but the second from the bottom. So they are 1400 to 1600 is their estimated skill level. Superhero Power is playing as the Green Italians. He's building his town center up here, closer to the water, actually, than I would expect. And the Otter One is building his town center here. He is playing as the Yellow Japanese. So while the town centers are going up, I'll just show the spreadsheet here. I'll show you guys where they are. For Superhero 55, we calculated mid 1500s, including win rate. And for the Otter One, we calculated mid 1400s. So Superhero 55 with a bit of an elo advantage. He's higher seeded, or his seed number is lower than the Otter One's. Anyway, seeding says that he is the stronger player, but maybe the Otter One will see something in these maps that Superhero 55 does not, and he'll be able to use that advantage to win. We'll have to see. Now on this map, Gichigume, it's inspired by Lake Superior and the Superior, Wisconsin area. You start with some extra wood so that you can build a dock, and these docks happen to be further apart. Sometimes the docks are closer together. It all depends on what the players decide to do. The Otter One is taking some shorefish. These are some pretty far away shorefish, though. It looks like somebody killed a goose, though. I'm not sure what's up with that. Maybe he killed a goose and harvested a little bit of it and then built the dock. I'm not really sure. Superhero 55 is fishing as well. So neither of them are doing the hunting trick with the dock that we saw others do earlier today in previous casts. The Otter One is Japanese. He's basically all on wood. That makes a lot of sense. He's getting loom now. He really wants to get the fishing economy going. There are a lot of fish in this lake. There are not as many fish as it seems. So if we double-click this, there's only a total of 10,000 food in this entire huge space. So when you think about it, that's not a lot of food, all things, adding it all together. But it's still a significant amount, especially this early in the game. But you will find, if you play this map, that you have to refresh your dock quite often. But thankfully, the lake is quite jagged, and there's all kinds of little islands and stuff that you could theoretically build on, although we haven't seen anybody do so. It's like we got some free boulders and a little bit of golden stone out here. That's interesting. Haven't seen that before. Of course, the border of the lake is littered with shipwrecks, just like real-life Lake Superior. The bottom of that lake probably has over 1,000 shipwrecks on it. It is a very tempestuous lake, and that is indicated by these waves. There's elevation on this lake, and ships can get hill bonuses, so you do have to be careful about that. So let's talk a little bit about the civilization matchup. These are civilizations which I can understand both of them pretty well. They both are water civs. The Japanese, great fishing ships, and they have extra vision on their galleys. And the Italians, of course, with the cheaper dock and university technologies. So, and they have cheaper feudal age, so they can maybe get up a little bit sooner and get those fire galleys out just a little bit sooner. It's like Superhero 55 is building a mill. He's going to mill these deer, and maybe... I think he could reach the shorefish technically, but this is for the deer. So what I like about this map is that it can be kind of tricky. If you overinvest on water, you could lose land, and then you have no space to build. There is not very much building space here, so you have to be careful. So far, the way that we've seen it play out is that generally if a player wins water, they will win the game. I have not actually, to state that more precisely, I have not seen any instances where players have won water but lost the game yet. I'm hoping to see such a game. It would make me feel better about the balance of the map. But if that is truly the case, if the water is too powerful on this map, then that is something that we will need to know, and we'll have to do our best to nerf it. So I really like this town center location from Superhero. I'd like it better than Otter's town center. It is on the north side of the wood line, making the lumberjacks more efficient. There are lots of cows in the Wisconsin area, and there are many lakes with fish. So that is represented by all these little ponds with some shore fish in them. Not a lot of shore fish, but a little bit. Hey, Otter One, welcome. My mic sounds a little bit bad. I'll have to look into that. Is it too loud, you mean? So, Superhero, he's got 7 fishing ships. Let's count Otter's fishing ships. Otter has 6. So both players are investing heavily into fishing. Try to replug it. Yeah, alright, I can do that. One sec. I will unplug and plug my microphone back in. But you guys need to know is that the Otter One is somehow going up to the feudal age first, despite not having a bonus for... I guess he's got cheaper mills and lumber camps and such. And he's heavily on this fish here. So I guess that kind of makes sense. But still, I would have expected Superhero to be going up first. All right, yeah, let me unplug this mic and I'll plug it back in. We'll see what we can do. Because the mic just stops working outright. Looks like it's still picking up some sound, so that's good. So what are we going to see here from the Otter One? Well, it's probably going to be lots of ships. But if the Otter One were going Navy, wouldn't he have built another dock by now? What do you guys think? He's got the wood for it. Superhero has not built another dock either. Maybe the players just feel like, he's far enough away that I'm not gonna make Navy. I'm just gonna take the free fish and just share the lake with my opponent. It didn't get better. Alright. Well, at least we tried it. Okay, so the Otter One is building another dock now. Maybe yep, there's the fire galley. And Superhero will be up to the feudal age in about a minute and a half. Now, Superhero is fortunate because these docks are pretty far apart for this particular setup. It just happened that the players built their docks far apart. So it'll take the Otter One a little bit more time to get over here. And Superhero will not be punished as much for being up to the feudal age later. We'll see if the Otter One is still able to sink his fishing ships before he gets to the point where he can defend them. The Otter has a fire galley out now, and he is going to go look for Superhero. He's going to go try to find those fish. It's a big lake. I have actually seen players like build sneaky fishing economy over here instead. One of those things where, you know, it's a dock for me to have and another one for you to find. Like, there'll be a dock over here, and there'll be like 2 or 3 fishing ships at it. And then there'll be another dock over here with like 10 fishing ships working at it. And your opponent will come and sink your 3 fishing ships and think that the job is done. Probably doesn't work at high elos because they're really good at scouting, but at lower elos it could work better. So Superhero has built a second dock as well. Fire galleys queued up. We saw Geo and Hyder on this map, and they did the double dock. And Geo was actually, he was the one that discovered that. Maybe not discovered, but he was hunting the geese and then switching over to fish by right-clicking fish with the... Oh, wow. Superhero getting away with this lady with only 2 health. She was... I think she was a repair villager. She's got to go back home now. Superhero with the resources to get up to Castle Age pretty soon. I gotta commend Superhero for his good balance. Seems he's got a good balance of resources. He's spending his resources right. Oh no, Superhero, not like this. That lady's gonna get burned. Okay, demolition raft going off and killing a bunch of things. I don't know whose demolition raft that was. It's way in the red. Oh, if it's too loud, I can turn the mic down. Hopefully that helps a little bit. I can turn it down a little bit more if you want. Let me know if that's not loud enough. Okay, so the Otter One has an impressive farming economy built up here. Superhero not so much. He's been relying on fishing and just stalling the otter one, who seems determined to win water. They both are kind of fighting it. I guess Superhero is making another demolition raft. And this fire ship is outnumbered. There we go. It's loud enough. Okay. Alright, good. Good. So Superhero is on his way up to the Castle Age. If he doesn't intend to build any more ships, then he will have to transition to an alternate food source. He's running his fishing ships this way, trying to get the Otter One's fire galleys as far away from his docks as possible. But it doesn't look like he's building from them, so I'm not really sure what the plan is here. Why he is going this way, when he could have gone over here, or he could have gone up here. I don't know. I don't know, but it looks like he has decided, I am done with water. Oh no, he's still building fire ships. Alright, well, what do I know? Check after the game or something. Okay. Yeah, after the recording, I will go and take a look at it and see if it sounds right. What is this? Oh, the Otter one. He has a villager in here. He sent a repair villager forward. Oh, and the fire ship is... Alright, so Superhero needs to burn this repair villager, but he may not have right-clicked it. He's just shanking it with his own villager. Yeah, he needs to get out of here. Oh, villager goes down. So, the Otter one has killed 10 of Superhero's villagers. I used to sound a lot better. Really? Superhero's Castle Age, he is getting the ship upgrades. So, I don't really know that this makes sense anymore. Maybe Superhero wants to stay on water so that he can kill the Otter's fish. But the Otter's fish are so tanky. They have 120 HP per fishing ship. I think compared to the normal 75 or something. Or 60. So, I think this isn't worth it anymore. I think Superhero needs to do something else. Maybe a Genbo push or something. That could be pretty devastating. The Otter one has smartly walled off his side of the map. So, I think this is a good idea. I would actually go further. I would stonewall this. Because Superhero is behind. He's behind 12 villagers. And when you're behind 12 villagers, you do not try to outboom your opponent. And that appears to be what Superhero is doing. Could be wrong. But I would be all over the Castle Drop and the Genbos, and I'd have monks, and I'd have mangonels. That's what Tech would be doing. I wouldn't be doing it as well as Superhero could do it. But it's what I would be trying to do. Hey, BP, welcome. We're just watching the Otter one versus Superhero 55. The Otter one has just won water on Gichigume. And he's even got the fire ships, and so now Superhero, I think he's going to boom up. Word is they know how to play. It's true. They do. Let me... BP has just updated the mod. Thank you, BP. Is it also buffering for you? Does not appear to be... What? What? What just happened? Oh. Well, I guess Capture Age just crashed. So, we will cast the rest of this game without Capture Age. Capture Age, it's so... It's very useful, but dang, you know? Like, it's very resource intensive, and I don't think it has to be that way. I can reopen it. Steam buffered for a sec. Still seems to be having the mic issue. It works to restart it. Alright. I will try to restart Capture Age. Here we go. Mic issue is pretty bad. Wow. I'll have to go check it out later. So Capture Age is launching. The Otter one is walled off pretty much exactly half of the map, maybe slightly less. He's been generous to Superhero. Alright, where is Capture Age? Oh, here we go. Yeah, you're right. It restarts. That's convenient. So we got 2 town centers versus 2 town centers, and the Otter one has about a 12 villager lead. Oh, Superhero with some sneaky fire ships. Where did that come from? The Otter one has a dock over here. That's not Superhero's dock. I'm not really sure where Superhero's fire ships came from. Maybe they're left over from earlier. Yeah, I don't see that Superhero has built another sneaky dock somewhere. You can only watch 1 second at a time. I'm not really sure what you mean by that. So we got another town center coming up for Superhero. Oop. So I think Superhero's final fire galleys are going to be removed. The Otter one is chasing him. Chasing him past these rocks on this island. Chasing him past the geese. Oh no, he's going to make his stand right in front of this goose. Now the players are just booming up. We've seen actually scouts on this map, and that was pretty interesting. The Otter one building an outpost here to keep himself apprised of whatever Superhero is up to. It looks like he's going to do more than keep himself apprised. He's going to build a castle. So we got a castle drop on Superhero's forward town center. Remember that Superhero didn't start with this town center, but he did build it later. This was his starting town center. So Superhero is going to have to pull his villagers back. He is getting wheelbarrow right now. That is true. You do seem to be heavily boomed. You have 70 villagers to Superhero's 56 villagers. And what is Superhero? He's going to build a university. That is interesting. Why would he do that? Is he planning on going up to Imp? Doesn't seem like he has enough villagers on gold in order to go up to the Imperial Age. So I would like to see Superhero sneak out here and make a mining camp on this gold and maybe build a tower to defend it. But I don't know that that's going to happen. But in case you do run out of resources, you can come out here and there are more resources. It's easier to take these resources if you control the water. The Otter one is patrolling the coastline to make sure that Superhero doesn't try to come back and build some docks along the edge of the lake here. Superhero building a house. What do we got? We got some monks from the Otter one and some samurais. Superhero has monks as well. Italians and Japanese both get very good monks in general. So you going to get any conversions? Castle units are generally pretty easy to convert. I would love to see Atonement, but I don't think we're going to see Atonement. Uh-oh. Superhero needs to hop inside of this town center. There he goes. So the Otter one is going to push with some monks and some siege. And he has made some samurai. These samurai are just standing in this woodline supervising. They're not actually attacking anything, which is sort of funny. Okay, there they go. Superhero has gotten 2 conversions. The samurai attack quite quickly, being Japanese infantry. And Superhero's going to charge Otter's monks with his villagers, because why not? Oh, shoot. I didn't even realize this. My headphones are not plugged in. Alright, well that should help out a lot with echo, potentially. I was wondering why I could hear all the sounds and everything. I normally plug all that stuff in because if I wear the headphones, then it gives me a headache while casting. So hopefully that helps everything out a little bit. I can't believe I didn't... I've done too many casts today, I think. but the issue persists. I'll have to go back in and watch my own content. I wouldn't normally recommend it, but I may have no choice. In order to see what you guys are talking about. Alright, so the Otter one he's getting atonement so that he can convert superheroes monks. And he is getting Imperial Age. And that'll be here in a little under 2 minutes. And it's gonna be pretty hard for Superhero to deal with. He's lost 2 town centers so far to the Otter one's push. I think booming was a mistake from Superhero. You can't boom when you're that far behind. You have to go in and hope that your opponent is complacent, and you have to go in and you have to do a bunch of damage. Yes, you embrace the ways. The way of the monk. Superhero is getting castle dropped again. Another castle from the Otter one. Where is there left for Superhero to go? There's not really anywhere to go. The Otter one is working on Superhero's town center. Superhero is actually going to be Imp sooner than the Otter one, actually. I didn't even notice that. Whoops, my bad. So what is he going to do with that Imp? Well, he's going to build another town center, of course. What else does one do with Imp like this? So he builds another town center, and he's getting chemistry. Okay, chemistry could help him out with the mangonels, and it could help tear down castles, but he calls the GG, sees that the Otter's Imp. He knows that the Otter is going to have redemption and black printing and can just convert the bombard cannons. So the first game goes to the Otter one on Gichigyume. So now we will spectate the next game, which I believe is Cataclysm. No. I can't fix it right now. Alright, so you could build a town center on these islands, but it would be probably a very bad idea. So the idea is that this planet has been hit by its own moon, which was cataclysmic, and in order to escape, the people relocated to other smaller moons, and now they're relocating back to the planet. Every time you end your sentence. Alright, I'll try turning down the gain on the mic a little bit. This map was made by BP Dredge. Alright, so Superhero building a town center on the first woodline that he sees, this one right here. The woodlines are large on this map, but there aren't that many of them. So it means that tower rushes could be much more effective. And they're both building their town center on the wrong side of the woodline. They got to build it on the north. This is okay, though. They're actually kind of closer than players normally are. It's too quiet. Alright, I'll turn it up. It's a bit better, but it's still squelching. I'll have to look at it later. So, you could build a town center here, but it would be a bad idea because there are no resources. I guess you could theoretically start sooner, and you'd have more fish, but you'd have to be constantly ferrying villagers over to the mainland to take wood. And you'd have to really commit to water, because if you lost water, you would lose your town center. But, I mean, theoretically, you could get a faster start that way. I need to move the mic away from my mouth. How do you know where the mic is? How do you know it's not on the other side of the room? Okay, so the Otter one, let's talk about the civilizations. It sounds like something isn't properly plugged in, says the Otter one. I will have to check it out later. So the Otter one has a town center on this woodline here. And he is the Mongols. I'm wondering why he picked the Mongols. Probably because he intends to go for many of these boars. It looks like he's got at least 2 boar that he can take. This one over here will probably be taken by Superhero. Superhero's already taken this one. Superhero is my favorite civilization, the Byzantines. I think Byzantines are an interesting choice for this map. Maybe he wants to take advantage of fire ships attacking faster. Or maybe he really wants the healing speed from the monks, or maybe he wants the cheaper Imperial Age. I'm not really sure. What I do know is that Superhero is not making that many fish. He doesn't have anything on wood. He needs to start putting more villagers on wood immediately. Otherwise, he'll get housed and he won't have the wood to build a house, and that's always the worst. Obviously, Superhero has a big civ advantage here, but the Otter one theoretically has a better early game economy. So the question will be is, can Superhero survive long enough to crush the Mongols with superior Byzantine army? That is the question. Otter, I don't know what I can do. I don't know what I can do except end the stream and then go and try to figure it out. Alright, so he is attacking the boar. Bringing in the boar. This is his second boar. The Otter one is going to get 2 boar probably. Oh no, he's going to get 3. There's 1 under his town center, and there are 2 out here. So second fishing ship from Superhero. Is Superhero going to contest water? Why would he pick Byzantines if he weren't going to contest water? The Otter one actually docked his moon out here, which is an interesting choice. I think it's actually maybe the better choice. Maybe you could even do something where you dock like out here or something, and your opponent is looking all around this main island for your dock and doesn't find it, so you have a sneaky free fish boom in the back. Probably not, though. At this level, players find things. You can't hide stuff from them. Okay, Otter's second boar is coming in. Okay, there's boars up here. Superhero, he's kind of loitering around. He doesn't have loom. What is this? What's she doing? Okay, he is going to bring in this boar. He's got to be really careful, though. No loom. This is a long boar lure. He's got to walk this J line. Oh, he's using the sheep to block, or trying to, but the boar is too fast. Let's hope it was enough. Hey, Ronald, welcome. Ronald, I gotta say, your name is clickbait. The first set that I cast today was your set versus the Napoleon. And it's got over 1,000 views. Over 1,000 people have clicked on the link, I guess, and brought up the page, listening to my scratchy voice narrate Alchemy League, apparently. So Superhero with 5 fishing ships and the Otter one with 4. Both are careful not to invest too much in fish, I think. The Otter one can afford to click up. Superhero is nowhere near, and I don't think he's going to click up anytime soon. So the Otter one really raking in the boar here. He just brought in another boar. Yeah, I should put Ronald Rage in the title of all my streams. Okay, Superhero is close. He's almost got the food to click up to Feudal Age. Oh, this is so annoying. Look at this. The Otter one trying to block the fish with his transport ship. Superhero does have the food, though, so he clicks up. Superhero scouted Otter's dock, so he knows where Otter's dock is. Otter is going to be Feudal Age about a minute before Superhero. Superhero going on the berries. He's got himself a little wall here. Not sure why he would wall like this and not like here to here. Give himself some extra room. What I do know is that Superhero's got 2 docks. And the Otter only has 1. So it looks like Superhero does plan on going into naval aggression. The problem is that the Otter one is going to be Castle Age. He's going to be Castle Age pretty soon, actually. Shortly, he's just building a stable now, I think. I don't know, maybe the Otter one is going to squander this opportunity to go Castle Age. I would never do that, but maybe he'll make scouts or something. Alright, so now all he needs to do is get enough gold to click up to the next stage. He is on gold right now. He's only got 3 on gold. Ah, he caves. He caves and he queues scouts. Oh, so close. So close. Could you imagine if the Otter one got fast castle and he like dropped a castle right here on Superhero and started making Mangudai? Oof. That would be tough to deal with. But I think Superhero will have an easier time against these scouts than he would have had against that strategy. But we'll see. Maybe the scouts will do a lot of damage. The lower gain was better. Every time you scream, my head explodes. Oh, they told me to turn it up, Otter. I'll turn it back down again. I'm at negative 19.9 decibels. Alright, so we got the Scout Cavalry coming across. Superhero has walled off this entire side of the map. Or at least this side of his base. So the Otter is not going to get in this way. He would have to come in over here. Maybe the Otter one can attack the wall and get in that way. Yeah, that's what he's going to do. He's going to force Superhero to wall behind. And Superhero will wall behind. Remember that Byzantine buildings have more health than ordinary civilizations. So Superhero... What's he doing? Okay, he is sending the fire ships over. Just took him a while to mass some. And the Otter one is on his way up to the Castle Age now. Superhero sinking... No, the Otter sinking Superhero's transport ship. Okay. Superhero going to come over here. He's got 2 fire galleys, and they're Byzantine fire galleys against the Otter's 1. I don't... Okay, he's going to go for the fish first. Okay, here's a fire galley. He needs to focus that down. He actually reacts immediately to it. The Otter's going to bring this back. He's going to keep burning it. So the Otter one is going to be Castle Age in about a minute, and he is on stone. So it looks like we are going to get a castle drop into Mangudai. These scouts, he had 3 scouts. I'm not. Here's the other one. He did not get any value out of those scouts, unfortunately for the Otter. DBL is decibels. Oh. I see where you said it now. I thought you guys were talking about decibels, which are also DPL, possibly. Okay. So Superhero just finishing the wall here. He's kind of dangerously giving away a lot of the map. Somehow the Otter one has a scout in here. He must have slipped in when I wasn't looking. And the distances are so great. Okay, Superhero has cleaned this up. He has stopped the Otter one from fishing. So you'll see that Superhero has 1 eco kill. The rest of the Otter's fish are waiting over here. The Otter one might try to build a sneaky dock over here. Yep, that's exactly what he's doing. So that Superhero, he can continue to use these fish, even though Superhero has water control. Okay, so the barrier gets deleted. Town center is being placed. Superhero is Castle Age, of course. The Otter one is Castle Age, but the Otter one has a plan. And that plan probably involves a castle. He's just not quite there yet with the stone to build it. But he will. He will build it. I predict this. Superhero has fire ships against the Otter one's fire galleys. So the Otter one is, yeah, he's losing water. He lost his dock. He built another dock up here, but did Superhero find it? I don't think Superhero has found it. Let's see. No. Superhero does not know that this dock is up here. The dock has been built since Superhero explored there, and he has no reason to go back there. Superhero really loves the War Galley upgrade. He does. Considers it a high-value upgrade. So we have a barracks here coming up for Superhero. The Otter one wants to build a castle right here, but unfortunately for the Otter one, it intersects with this barracks. So he'll have to build the castle slightly further down, which will still hurt just as much. Ah, come on, man. Don't be a wimp. Chop this straggler and build it right on top of the 2 town centers. This is a devastating castle for Superhero. He can't let this castle go up, but he doesn't really have a choice. I think this town center was a bit greedy. I think he would have been better off with a little bit of military or a scout to at least see what his opponent was up to. He didn't need another town center immediately. Alright, so Superhero buying a castle and building it here. Because he knows that he's won water, or at least he thinks he's won water. So why would you give your opponent an opportunity to spend resources to get back into the game? Why wouldn't you just match your opponent's investment in military? In theory, you have a bigger eco now. Okay, the castle goes up, and the Otter one will not be able to take this stone. This town center, he'll probably have to build a lumber camp on this wood line right here. Yeah, well, okay, that's where he builds it. It's kind of, it could, I saw it and I was like, is that a mining camp or a lumber camp? But his wood situation is very complicated because the Otter one built a castle basically covering almost all of his wood. So here's what Superhero Power needs to do. He needs to sell everything, and he needs to stop making villagers, and he needs to get up to the Imperial Age using Byzantine cheap Imperial Age, and he needs to tread this infernal castle down. That's true. Well, the Otter one has experience with the IU, and he has experience with Tenka community FFAs. So these are the kinds of things that people come up with for those sorts of things. You'll see lots of petards from the Otter one. You'll see siege towers. You'll see all kinds of cheeky moves. Otter says it gets even better. All right, well, we'll see. Okay, so we got some Mangudai picking on this villager here. The Otter one is down about 100 elo to Superhero Power. Superhero Power has an elo advantage over the Otter one. But it just kind of goes to show that when you've got some crazy maps in the mix, anything can happen. Well, you know, within reason. As long as you don't have like 900 versus 1900, anything can happen. If you try to actually balance divisions. Okay, Superhero attempts a quick wall here, but does not succeed. But he does get a conversion against the Step Lancer. And this Step Lancer is going to kill the other Step Lancer while the monk heals it. Oh no! And Superhero is going to convert both Step Lancers. Otter is not paying attention. Alright, there we go. So now Superhero has 2 Step Lancers. But these Mangudai are going to be super annoying. Superhero should have walled this off when he had the chance. Just built a stone wall right here. Now these Mangudai are going to come around and they're going to be super annoying. In-game chat on the bottom right. Oh, I didn't see it. Alright, so Superhero does not know that the Otter one has built another dock here. Let me actually just double check that statement to make sure that it's true. No, he does. He does know. Alright, he scouted it. So he did look back up there. Whether or not he has reacted to this new information, I don't know. But he did not know until recently. Superhero is on his way up to the Imperial Age. This is very good for Superhero. I wouldn't necessarily recommend this kind of fight. I think this is not really, you know, what does he get if he drives the Mangudai back 10 tiles this way? Not really anything. Oh, the Otter one has the relics. Ah, thank you. I missed that. And the relics are in this monastery. So Superhero's on a timer. He's got to do something about it. He's building a market. I think, honestly, Superhero's best bet, when you're in a bad situation like this, there is pretty much only one thing you can do, and that is make monks. I'm not even joking. Like, he has to go monk treb. Fast Stamp, he's got to mix in a barracks when he can afford it. He's got to make 3 or 4 spearmen to keep the scouts and the light cav away. And he needs to push with monks. He's got unique unit, which he can convert. But that is, if you want to get to over here destroying this building as soon as possible, that is the way to do it. I don't know if that's what he will do, because he may not like monks. That may not be part of his playbook. But that is the only playbook that I see right now. Maybe you guys have a better idea for what Superhero would need to do to stop Otter's Relic victory. And he actually kind of already is doing it. He is relying heavily on Monk to convert things. That's right. Well, actually, I've been really pleased with the standard victories so far. It's been a lot of fun. I did a game, who was it? I played against Alexander, and I went for a wonder victory on Wasteland, and that was pretty fun. Full Skirm Flood? I don't. I mean, maybe he's got the eco for it. And the Mongols are missing armor, but he's got to get upgrades for the skirms, and I don't know. The Superhero needs these monks because he needs to keep the Mangudai from running in and sniping his trebuchets, which I have had happen to me before. Look at his queue. No monks. So he's got some villagers. Castle. Is he going into ships? Oh. Alright. I see how it is. That's actually even better. Because this monastery can be ranged by Dromons. That's really smart. I sometimes forget that Dromon are a thing. Now, Superhero is going to have to pay attention because Mangudai have a lot of damage output. But in theory, he could flatten these Mangudai pretty effectively with Dromon. The monk wants the Dromon. The fire ships are going to burn the monk. Yeah, that was a good idea. He needs to get more Dromon over here to destroy this monastery. Once you get like 3 or 4 Dromon, like a Mangudai mass like this doesn't stand a chance. He's not making any more Dromon though. What's he? Don't tell me he's building more town centers. Ah, no, not town centers. Okay, we do have some more Dromon. So he's built 4, and that is enough. That's sufficient. I guess I could understand 4. Otter 1 rebuilding. He's repairing the monastery. He's got a monk here working on the Dromons. And I don't think Superhero even cares. He just wants to get that monastery down. He's got enough fire ships to destroy the converted Dromon. And he indeed destroys the monastery to reset the relic counter at the very least. That don't need to rely on the moon resources. Well, a lot of people were saying that some civilizations don't have a huge advantage on the alchemy maps because of some new bonus that didn't exist when the map was originally developed, which I thought was kind of funny. You know, you develop a map, and it seems to check out, and it seems like there's nothing overpowered on it initially. But then somebody's like, this civ can do this now, so this map might not be balanced. And you're like, oh crap, you're right. Darn it, devs, why did you have to introduce that? Honor 1 diving. Superhero trying to trap the Mangudais. Mangudais taking a lot of free damage to the 2 town centers. Now the Trebs got it. What Trebs? So now Superhero is bombarding Otter's town from the shore. Superhero just wants to build this archery range so that he can make skirmishers against the Mangudai. Okay, there he goes. Maybe he'll make archers instead. Actually, he's got the gold for it, and archers would be more effective. They would deal a lot more damage to Otter's light cav. So, Otter, tell me something. Can you clarify, did you pick his civilization for this map? I believe Otter was saying that his opponent forgot that Persians were globally banned and picked them for one of the maps. No, okay, alright, you did not. So he picked Byzantines for this. Okay. Because I had heard that he'd forgotten. He picked Persians for one of the maps, so they had to restart, where Otter would pick his civ in the restart. Well, that's what I was curious about. I was like, did Otter pick him Byzantines just to troll me? Just because Otter thinks that Byzantines are awful? All the Mangudai died, that's true. This is a pretty crazy game so far. Superhero has 14 military somewhere. I think it's mostly on the water. He destroyed the Otter One's other dock. The Otter One's somehow getting away with fishing ships again. These fishing ships have like survived the whole map. Or the whole game on this map. I think Otter built like maybe 5 or 6 originally, and 4 are still alive. So Otter's doing a good job of keeping his fishing ships alive. He is colonizing the moon that has crashed into the planet. He's building a castle here to help defend his holdings. Otter says they aren't awful. I won with them on Juicy's last tourney. Oh, well, that's good to know. So we got some Mangudais here working on this trebuchet. And this trebuchet is fighting this other trebuchet. Where are the monks when you need them? This Mangonel is attacking the trebuchet. So this trebuchet needs to attack the Mangonel first, so that it can't hurt the villagers. Alright, so we got some skirmishers here. Long term, the Byzantines want to go camels and skirms. Alright, and the Otter one decides to bail. Oh no, not Cataphracts. That must have been a misclick. The Otter has reset the relic counter, except this time, where are the relics? Alright, they are further inland, where the Dromons cannot reach them. So what Superhero needs to do is he needs to load a transport up with 4 trebuchets, and he needs to come around here, and he needs to drop them off here, and then destroy the monastery that way. Yeah, I don't think Cataphracts are a good choice here. Their pierce armor is too low. Oh, that hurts. There goes 650 stone down the drain. Mangonels are going to flatten the skirmishers. Superhero needs camels. What's he doing? Okay, he's going to drop a castle here. No, he's not. He thinks better of it. I would think better of it, too. The Otter one has houses here. He's going to see it. He's got a ball of Mangudai. He's got 2 Mangonels. There's no snowball's chance in hell that that castle goes up. Okay, he's going to build the castle defensively here. The Otter one is going to build another castle. He could garrison in this town center to protect villagers. I would do it. The Otter one wants to drive forward, though, against the castle. It's a mistake. The town center can kill the Mangonel too quickly, but I think Superhero has no map control. I think he went the Dromons, which was okay, but it seems like he's too busy making town centers that are getting destroyed. Or pushed back. I think he tried skirms, and I don't think it worked out for him. I think Monk and Treb would have been better. But it's hard to say. Otter got a lot of value out of saving his fishing ships, wherever they are. And Superhero calling the GG. Otter's up 2 games. Yeah, this is the moon that's crashed into the planet. Doesn't have to be Earth. It could be any planet. It's part of the space maps that we're developing. The Dromons were a good idea. I'm not really sure what he could have done after them. Seemed like he had taken a lot of damage. There's not really much to point to say, you know, this was a mistake. I guess maybe if Superhero had invested in camels instead of skirmishers and cataphracts, it would have gotten better value. Camels are not really ideal necessarily against Mangudai, but they can hold their own. I don't think victory condition had anything to do here. I think Otter would have won either way. Let's go on to the next game. The next one is Comet, also of Superhero's choice. So this is Comet by BP Dredge. The map, it looks like a comet. Starting positions, you know, the players could they could start over here toward the tail of the comet. They could start up here toward the head of the comet. These ones happen to start pretty much directly across from each other. Superhero accidentally picked Persians for this map, so the Otter one gave him Chinese instead. So we'll see what he does with them. I think Chinese could still be decent on this map. Chinese start is awkward though, but Superhero is skilled enough at Age of Empires that I think he can manage it. He has not built a where are his houses? Oh, yeah, I don't see his houses. Where are his houses? So the other one is Malay. I think Malay are a pretty smart choice for this map. You could build harbors all over. Buildings that only cost stone but fire arrows used to secure extra resources. Yeah, I figured Otter based on process of elimination. So here, Superhero has to do a lot of forced drop-offs. Why can't I see his houses? Since he's got 15 pop space. There's something green right here. Okay, it's a goose. And there's something green over here. It's another goose. Okay. So he's exploring with the geese. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why I can't see his houses. Maybe I'm just crazy or something. Maybe the town center provides extra pop space. It's plus 10 now? What? Are you serious? Since when? So now he has to build a house. Holy crap. The devs, man, I can't keep up with them. You forgot that too when you picked it for him? It's recent. I was wondering, I was like, where's all his houses? I see he has a ton of population space. Where are all the houses? Okay, so he's got another boar here. I don't know if Superhero found it. Let's see. Oh, that sucks. So as far as Superhero is concerned, the Otter one lamed his boar. Alright, well, when this dock goes up, he'll see it. And then he'll be like, oh crap, there's my boar. Yep, there she goes. He doesn't waste any time at all. He's going to get on the right side and bring the boar back to the town center. Superhero desperately needs that food. Yeah, Juicy picked Bulgarians on this map. That was pretty interesting. You may have seen his set that I cast. Juicy had a very compelling Bulgarians game on this map. It's in another video that you'll have to check out. If you can abide the sound. Sheep spam doing pretty dang far away, I noticed. Oh, yeah, you mean him exploring with the sheep out here? Oh, the Otter one laming Superhero, taking a sheep And Superhero just barely missing it. Look at that. That is unfortunate. Otter 1 has a sweet spot for Bulgarians. You can also build docks further out, I think. There's like chunks of ice you can build on out here that count as beaches. Just so you guys know, if you go to play this map again, and indeed, the Otter 1 actually does already know that because he built his dock out here. Okay, so Otter 1 has 13 on sheep. Superhero building another house here. I'm wondering what Superhero is going to do. Remember, guys, that Superhero was not planning on playing the Chinese for this map. He got them by accident. So maybe he'll go archers. Maybe he'll do some kind of man-at-arms builds. But it looks like his build has been pretty rough so far. It's almost like he's loitering to try to click up here. Yeah, he queued up another few villagers. But you get up to 27 pop and you're like, I should be clicking up by now. Okay, so mill is under construction. Bam, done. The Otter 1 is on his way up to the feudal age with a minute left, and Superhero is on his way up to the feudal age with 2 minutes left. So essentially, Superhero is going to have to survive 1 minute of the Otter 1 being in feudal age. And the Otter 1 is Malay, so he actually goes up faster. He's coming out here. He doesn't have really much on food in way of land. He's got 3. Okay, he's got 3 on fish. Dolphins. Space whales, we call them. Don't you guys like to imagine that space has whales? That they're like creatures that live in the void of space? Well, in this case, they're dolphins. So Superhero scouts the heavy... Scouts 4 villagers building a mining camp. So this is telling him that the Otter 1 is probably going archers as Malay, which would make a lot of sense. Or he is going to make a lot of feudal warships. Actually, does Superhero know about the Otter's docks? Let's check. He does not. He does not know about the Otter's docks. His scouting is not sufficient. So the Otter 1 could show up here with a bunch of fire ships, and Superhero would be completely surprised. Alright, what do we got? Okay, we got a little scout fight here. Superhero chasing away the Otter 1's scout. What is the Otter 1 doing? Okay, he is making a fire galley. He's not building from both of these docks, just the one. I don't know, yeah, maybe he's going to transition to archers now. He got down here and he saw like 3 fishing ships, 2 of which just got blown up. And he's like, I'm not really going to build anything else on water. There's not much fish to kill. So I bet that's the case. I bet he scouted it, saw there was minimal fish. He missed my demo? No, I saw your demo. I saw the aftermath of your demo. I saw it just as the bits of shrapnel and chunks of wood pieces were falling. Yeah, we don't have any BS maps like Golden Swamp in this map pool. Ooh. Okay, so the Otter is going to do archers now. It's got 1 archer out. Superhero scouts it, so Superhero sees what's going on. He wants to take a game off of the Otter 1. The Otter 1 has been very clever for this set. And the Otter 1 has shown us his experience on weird maps. Oh, can you not wall to the edge of the map here? Oh no, Superhero never scouted his geese. Maybe he assumed that he didn't get as many geese. He's just had a rough go at it when it comes to food. Ah, you were aiming for the 5 vills. got the fishing ships instead. Superhero getting out of the way just in time. So where is the otter one? Okay, here he comes. And he just walks right in. The wall is not complete yet. And this villager is not going to complete it. There are archers in the way. Superhero needs to like panic wall this or something right now. The otter one... Oh no, okay, Superhero has an army of his own. He'll be okay. He'll be alright for now. I mean, this will be annoying. He'll lose a villager and it'll take him off of wood. But he at least has army. So he's not going to completely get wrecked by this. This is only 3 archers. So they have fletching. Do these guys have fletching? They do not have fletching. Oh, no, no, no. Superhero, you need to go in here and you need to get Otter to go away. You need to kill these or chase them out. You can't go back to chopping wood. The Otter is not going to allow it. The Otter's going to walk away. He's going to wait for Superhero to walk away. And then, what's Superhero doing? All right, he's building a new lumber camp. So Superhero does have a numbers advantage here, but Otter has a fletching advantage. Okay, Superhero's just gotten fletching, it looks like. He's getting the armor now. I'm still shocked that you expect me to make a fire first when I see 5 vills on shallows. I guess that's true. I should know better. Most other resources are closer on this map. Thank you, BP. Yeah, I think this is about normal. But because it's a custom map, he may have assumed that he didn't get those sheep. I think that's why he didn't scout them. So Superhero wants to chop this forest, but the Otter one is not going to allow it. He could tower. Oh, yep, that's what he's going to do. He's going to build a tower here to keep the Otter one away. He wants to finish this wall, but without any military presence over here, the Otter one will just deny it again. 23 HP on this house. We tried to design the map so that they were not snowballing, so that if somebody was winning, that the rest of the game wasn't about them winning more and more, that there could be comebacks. Earlier fletching was huge here. I agree. I think it hurts when you don't get fletching as soon as your opponent. Superhero is building a stable. He is on his way up to the castle age somehow. If this were me, I would have like 800 gold and 50 food and be nowhere near clicking up. So he's done. Oh no! He doesn't realize he can wall this. He doesn't realize units can walk around this. Skirmisher lancing these geese. Otter one laming Superhero again. Oof. Poor Superhero. All he wants to do is get this wall up. Exactly. Yeah, 8 monks seems reasonable. And he doesn't realize that you can wall to the edge of the map here, I think. He'll learn. Everybody's just getting used to the maps. And we're going to see people do a lot of things that don't work. And that's part of the fun. That's why we have custom maps, is so that people can try stuff out. And like hone different strategies. Because as a map maker, you're never going to like think about all the different ways that people are going to potentially play your map. I mean, you might have some ideas. You might be like, oh, you know, these could be some good strategies on it. But the players are pretty good at surprising. That's what I found. Players are pretty good at surprising you. So, if I were Superhero, I'd be making knights right now. Alright, that works too. It's going to make a siege workshop. I actually almost like that even better. Because he's got the resources for siege, whereas he kind of needs his food for villagers. Okay, he's still going to make a knight. What? He's making a monastery. Forward monastery at that, too. I guess there's a relic here. There's a relic here and a relic here. I guess most of the relics are kind of on that side of the map. Looks like there's just one here, which you could also get. You hope that Superhero watches this replay? Maybe. I don't know. I hope I've been kind to him. It's always my biggest concern is that I will complain about too much about what somebody should have done. But it's easy to harp on somebody. And these guys play at a much higher level than I can and ever will. Superhero coming in here, and he is going to do a night raid on the Otter. Not like night is in at night time, because there aren't times of the day, but like with the unit that can night. People always thank you for critique. Okay? But I just don't want to sound like I know something that he doesn't. And he'd probably come to many of the same conclusions if he watched it at 20,000 feet. The way that I can, from the bird's eye view. Seeing what Otter is doing, getting some perspectives of how the maps were made and judged. Why is Superhero's village, why are they just standing there dying? What's he doing? What is this? Oh man, that sucks. Lost 3 or 4 villagers just for free. They're just standing. Well, Superhero is already like mid-1500s. Maybe upper 1500s. I'd have to check again. Oh, he's got a couple mangonels moving in. Yeah, so Superhero is 1558 according to this. So he would wreck tech in a 1v1. The castle goes up. That's very unfortunate for Superhero. He loses both of those mangonels. The Otter one with a vicious castle drop, and Superhero calls the GG. Yeah, he's down to 27 villagers. He's had a rough go at it the whole game. Oh, he was microing his raid. So the Otter one has won a 3rd game. He sweeps Superhero. Superhero will still get some points, a prime number of points. But the Otter one will get more points than he would have gotten had he only won 2v1. So now that this game has these sets have been cast, I will react with a television in the recordings channel. Let's see, where are we here? Recorded games. And we'll react with the television to indicate that the set is on television. Yeah, GG's. Well played from both players. No. You get, I think, 31 or something like that. Let me check. League resources. Let's see. I still gotta start the spreadsheet for this. It's been a little bit confusing because some people have dropped out, and I haven't seen games from a lot of people, so I think a lot more people are going to drop out, which makes me sad. Load more pages. Okay, so too far. Here we go. So, alright, no, it's not 32. So if the set result is 3-0, then the winner gets 17 and the loser gets +5. And if the set result is 2-1, then the winner gets 13 and the loser gets +7. Well, some of it was broken up into some subcomponents that were just explaining the complex calculations that I would use for some processes. It wasn't really high level. It was just like detailed technical stuff that if somebody wanted to know how I was going to do something like divide prize pool or seed the players, that they could dig into that if they really felt strongly about it. Yeah, so this is a great question. Game 3 does definitely matter. Yeah, it's not just play this for fun, play this for my own amusement. So if you win your set 3-0, then you have a 12-point advantage over your opponent. And if you win your set only 2-1, then you have a 6-point advantage over your opponent. So it doubles your advantage over your opponent, essentially. And the reason that these numbers are the way that they are is because they're all prime numbers, and I wanted to minimize the risk of ties. Because I figured if I made them prime numbers, that it would be less likely to produce the totals based on a number of different types of set outcomes. Maybe it doesn't matter, but to me it kind of made sense, and I was like, what the heck, why not? As long as you're adding the same amount for everybody. No, I mean, if you won 2-0, if you were up 2 games against an opponent and they decided not to play the third, well, first of all, that's kind of that's sort of like withdrawing from the tournament because you're refusing to play games that you agreed to play. You agreed to play a play all 3, so you're not meeting the requirements of the handbook. So that's one problem. And then the other thing too is that your opponent does have like a chance. They get to choose the maps. They get to choose all of the maps that aren't the map of the week if you're crushing them. If you're up 2-0, they get to choose the next map. So it's designed in a way to minimize the number of 3-0s. Like I believe that a tournament that has more sets that are close is a better designed tournament where the winners win like 7-0 or 3-0. So we try to maximize we try to minimize somebody running away with all of the games. Yeah, and that's the next thing I was going to bring up is if somebody refused to play the last one, it would be an admin win. But you don't want your division to have admin wins, because if your division has lots of admin wins, then your division is playing fewer games than what was expected, which means that your division will take less of the prize pool than originally and estimated. So, for instance, if Gold Division has a ton of admin wins because people just are like, yeah, screw it, I'm just not going to do this, I've got more important things to do, and they only end up playing half the number of games that were expected, then their prize pool gets cut in half. And it gets distributed to the other divisions. Yes, you do. You do. You were never promised a certain amount to begin with. They were only estimates of the amount based on how many players were in each division and how many games would probably end up being played. But if a group of people collectively decide that they don't care enough about the league to play the games that they agreed to play when they signed up, that does affect the rest of the division, yes. But hopefully that will not be the case for most people. It was a system, it wasn't set up to punish people, it was set up to incentivize players to recruit their friends. Like, if you have 3 friends who are the same skill level that you are, and they would be in your division approximately, and you recruit them to play in Alchemy League, then your division starts generating a larger proportion of the games relative to the other divisions. So, therefore, your division would take a larger fraction of the prize pool. it was meant to be an incentive kind of thing. Oh yeah, and that's the thing. It is weird, but the problem is that if you don't do it that way, then there will be some pro player that signs up and wipes everybody else out, or everybody else drops out of the division because they're afraid of getting wiped out, like it's a waste of time, and then they just take everything, because you're not tying the compensation to games played. The compensation must be tied to games played. If it's not, then my experience is that people will potentially take advantage of it. Yeah, exactly. Don't sign up for the league to make money. We just do this so that there's like something to brag about more than bragging rights. It gets people a little bit excited. It's not a lot of money, but being able to say that you won money playing Age of Empires is kind of like half of it. I feel like it doesn't really matter how much money you make playing Age of Empires at our level. What matters is that you can say, "Oh, I won money playing an Alchemy League." It's kind of like a nice little ego boost to be able to say that you won some money. But if you want to make money playing Age of Empires, there are tournaments that will require way fewer games of you than our tournament. It's about playing on some crazy maps in competitive settings with other people who are committed to winning as well. Because we had been doing just the community games, and people were just, sometimes they show up, sometimes they don't. Yeah, exactly. You don't need Alchemy League to say that you made money. I know, but some people, it might be their first tournament making money off of. Probably not most though, but still, it's nice. It's like one of those things where your grandma sends you $5 for your birthday or whatever, and you're like, "Grandma, $5 is like nothing anymore," but she still does it. It's one of those things. So, anyway, so that's how that works. It's how the prize awards work. It's all based on the number of games that each division generates that theoretically Tech Chariot could cast if he had the recording for it. That's really what it is. So we really appreciate Superhero Power. Otter got him on this one, but Superhero Power is going to be back, I'm sure, and maybe he'll have some strategies based on what he saw with the Otter one, and he'll adapt and he'll get used to the maps and he'll form plans, and we look forward to seeing what he does in the next round. So thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I'll go check those mic settings now, and we'll see what you guys are talking about, and I'll catch you guys on the next cast.